Hey there! You might know SiteGround as a highly reputable hosting provider with top-notch performance, reliability, and expensive plans. Yeah, there's no sugarcoating it. SiteGround plans can be pricey, but that's not necessarily a bad thing if you get good value in return. So that's what I want to sort of do with my SiteGround review. Find out if it's worth your time and, more importantly, money, or if you should look for a cheaper alternative. Hit it! First of all, if at any point in this video you decide that SiteGround is the right provider for your website, I've left the most up-to-date discount deals in the description. Or you'll see this QR code a few times throughout. Remember, most of these providers operate on deals and discount basics, so never buy hosting without coupon codes. Don't throw your money away, but throw it at some cold ones. Alright, let's get straight to the main point, pricing. After looking at it, you should get a better understanding of the value of things discussed later on. Where can you start with SiteGround? One website here will cost a few dollars if you go with a 12-month prepaid plan. One project, 10 gigabytes of SSD storage and daily backups is a fairly decent offer. Other industry leaders have similar value plans, having fewer features but more storage and websites. If you want more, the next plan simply removes the site limit entirely, though the storage space doesn't increase by much. Even the most expensive plan goes only up to 40 gigabytes compared to Hostinger's 200 gigabytes. So overall, shared hosting plans are quite good. The issue comes when it's time to renew. You see this discount about 5 times. Well, that's great to start. That also means, you guessed it, the standard price is 5 times higher than what the provider originally asked. This is a regular approach in the hosting industry, but the renewals are usually up to 2 to 3 times, like with Hostinger or Bluehost, but SiteGround. Yeah, the increase can be a bit shocking. Make sure you understand what you're going to pay in the long run, or be prepared to move your site to another provider. Since, don't get me wrong, a year of SiteGround's premium hosting for this price is quite a good deal. Now here are a few extra things I noticed during this SiteGround web hosting review. When you pick a plan, make sure to use the free domain option and grab a domain name. You won't get to do it later like some other providers allow you to. Also, make sure to double check the crossed out pricing under the zeros right here. It'll show you how much this domain name will renew once a year passes. It's affected both by name and extensions, so try a few combinations. Once you get a domain name, notice that you can only pay by credit card, which is okay, but other providers offer more convenient choices. Some even let you pay in Bitcoin. Next, don't forget to choose your data center right here. There are 11 server locations around the globe, so pick one that is closest to your target audience. Don't worry if you miss this step. You can change data center locations anytime from the dashboard. The last step here is to choose your add-ons, and I would recommend skipping all of them. Maybe grabbing domain privacy or email marketing for business-related projects. Of course, if you have the budget, hourly backups or site scanner won't hurt your projects, but you can always get these add-ons anytime later on. Alright, enough about money. We should look at how easy the SiteGround dashboard is to manage, mainly if it's beginner friendly. While not perfect, SiteGround provides a modern and responsive control dashboard that can rival many competitors. It offers a variety of useful tools that make managing your site easy, including one-click staging environments, automated WordPress management, and Git integration for developers. Installing a new WordPress is a simple process with only a few clicks, and the info on how many resources each of your site is using is readily available. On top of that, I have to give a huge plus for including dark mode and even high contrast mode. One of only a few hosting providers that also think about accessibility, not just the tools. But myself and some other users found the interface a bit cluttered with extra features like video tutorials, blog posts, or a huge upsell window in the website menu. It's not the worst thing, but it's slightly annoying, especially if you work on multiple projects. So, overall, the SiteGround dashboard is responsive, easy to navigate, and offers lots of quickly accessible tools. It could just use a bit of redesign sometime in the future. Next, apart from the already mentioned Site Scanner add-on, how secure are the basic SiteGround plans? Do you need to add extra security from your side? Well, first, I always recommend having your own security and never solely trusting a provider unless you're hosting on expensive managed plans. But if you forget to pack your own security, SiteGround has solid protection to keep your site safe. Their proprietary AI anti-bot system prevents brute force attacks, and every hosting plan includes a free SSL certificate, daily backups, and a custom web application firewall. On top of that, SiteGround offers its own security plugin for WordPress users, providing extra layers of protection for mission-critical sites. Additionally, SiteGround includes DDoS protection, a two-factor authentication system, and automatic patching for vulnerabilities. They also claim that their server monitoring system checks server status every 0.5 seconds, meaning any potential issues should be caught immediately. Overall, it's a nice package of safety features, though since it's on the more expensive side after renewals, Site Scanner could have been included, as other providers already do this for even more affordable hosting plans. To end this SiteGround review on a high note, I can say that performance here is well worth your money. SiteGround's hosting infrastructure feels to be built for speed and reliability, which means improved user experience and better SEO results. Yeah, while there's no definitive say from Google, since it is Google, that's standard for them. But a lot of internet users believe that slower loading times make your site rank lower in the search results. So, the first test was based on Google recommendations, which define good loading time as fully loading a website in under 2.5 seconds. I'll set up a SiteGround WordPress website with some demo content and test it through Google's own tool. The results are really promising. SiteGround loaded my entire site in around 1 second. Now, granted, this is a fairly empty test website, and your project with lots of real data will perform slower. But also, remember, I'm testing a cheap hosting option. Your very first plan with bigger projects, you can simply upgrade to increase resources. Next, quite a while ago, we set up an uptime test that pings my SiteGround site every few minutes to see whether it's reachable online and how long it took to get a response. Basically, we want this percentage to be as close to 100% as possible, meaning our site is always online. Since there are things like electrical outages, forces of nature, or updates, and since websites are hosted on physical machines, 100% isn't always viable. That's why good providers have a service level guarantee, promising you that your uptime won't go down to a certain point. Having your web project down a few minutes each month is perfectly fine. But if your site is more unreachable than reachable, then why even host a site there? In SiteGround's case, it's 99.99%, so up to 5 minutes each month. My test results showed only one quick instance when my site wasn't reachable for a few moments. The response times were quite stable as well, indicating good server infrastructure for shared hosting. Finally, we conducted stress testing, sending 50 virtual users to browse our website at the same time to monitor how well SiteGround handles all these requests. We were basically looking to see if any of those users experienced slowdowns or HTTPS errors. Just for reference, 50 users browsing at the same time is quite an achievement for any website. I would even call that medium-sized projects. So for shared hosting, this is a good success point. After the test, which went on for 10 minutes, the results were great, with pretty stable response times and 0 HTTPS errors. So, to sum up, SiteGround performance. It's a really fast and solid provider that, from a speed freak perspective, is well worth the money. Alrighty, what are my final thoughts about SiteGround hosting? Is it good? Yeah. It's a very good hosting provider with beginner-oriented controls, strong security, and fast performance. The only thing is that it's quite expensive, and storage space is kind of surprisingly limited for this price. If you don't mind that, I highly recommend SiteGround for your next web project. Don't forget to maximize your savings with our discount link below. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. If you have questions about SiteGround or want to share your experience, make sure to leave a comment. I'll try to get to as many of you as I can. If this video was helpful, why not drop a like on the video or even subscribe to the channel? That always brightens up my day. Okay, enough chit-chatting. I'll see you all in my next video.